The title of this video could have been 5 mistakes I did before buying my first luxury watch. But luckily, those are the mistakes I didn't do. And honestly, I feel pretty relieved about that. So let's get over those 5 common mistakes so you also could avoid them. For me, a watch is art. And there is no such thing as bad or ugly art. The most important thing is if you like it. No matter how bad a watch might seem, there will always be people who will love and wear it, and they will definitely tell you it's the best watch. When you ask for a watch advice, a Rolex owner will tell you that it's the best choice to make. Someone who is wearing an Omega will tell you that only those who go after a status symbol will choose a Rolex, whereas people who are truly passionate about watchmaking, they would choose an Omega. Ask someone who wears a Tudor. They will try to convince you that no need to spend a lot of money on big brand names when you can spend less and get a great watch from affordable alternatives. They are all right, but for themselves, not for you. I knew that watch is a personal choice and it has to speak to me first. The only advice I listened to was my gut feeling. Some people will tell you to start with an entry-level luxury piece before buying an expensive watch, as if you are not allowed to skip the ladder and go straight to the top. Well, you absolutely can, and that jump can be as high as your pocket allows. Settling for a cheaper watch doesn't save you money. It just delays the joy and guarantees that you're gonna spend more later. Think about it. You can spend $7,000 on a gorgeous Omega Speedmaster, or you can settle for a $5,000 Tudor. Well, if I had $5,000 for a watch, I'd better add $2,000 more and buy a watch with a better movement, finishing and presence. You know what's worse? When you hold off on your dream watch because you're hesitant to go big and you buy a more affordable alternative instead, that will never satisfy you. And the one you didn't buy, it will always haunt you until you finally put it on your wrist. So better sooner than later. If you're financially capable, go for the one you really want. Here's the truth. No one cares about your watch. Not because your friends and colleagues are jealous, well, but for a simpler reason. Most people around you won't even notice that you are wearing a watch, and that's totally normal. Some people will notice and maybe compliment, but they won't really go any deeper. Watches are a niche world. For many people, they are just a shiny accessory that would cost 50 to 60 bucks. Funny, right? A very small group, maybe 1 in 10, will recognize what you are wearing. They will know what it is, and they will appreciate the thought and investment behind it. But that's a tiny minority. So when I was buying my first watch, I accepted this reality. Other people do not care. And I've never worried whether my friends or co-workers understand the value of a watch on my wrist. I bought it for myself, and it's been bringing me joy ever since. And by the way, when someone notices my watch and appreciates it, I at least know that we are on the same page, and that's where great conversations and even friendships start. David Beckham wears Tudor. Nicole Kidman wears Omega. Serena Williams has an Audemars Piguet. Roger Federer is always wearing a Rolex. Does this tell you something important? Yeah, it tells you that these people work with those brands. They are partners, ambassadors, or whatever name you give it. Brands spend massive amounts of money to get their watches on the wrists of celebrities. The exact numbers are confidential, but we are talking about 7 figures. Anyway, a celebrity wearing a watch doesn't say anything about how good the watch actually is. These partnerships are more about the philosophy of brands and the values they carry. For Omega, that can be the partnership with the Olympics or the exploration of the space. For Rolex, it's tennis, classical music, and that kind of prestige. But don't judge a watch based on whose wrist it is on. Do you remember when in 2018 Gal Gadot shared a promotional tweet about the Huawei smartphone, and at the bottom of the tweet there was this automated tag saying Twitter for iPhone. So partnerships are complex. Buying a pre-owned watch, is it more affordable? Yes. Is it equally meaningful? No. A watch is a piece of history. It stays with you through different phases of life. Weddings, travels, turning points. Decades later, you look at it and refresh all those memories. Every scratch carries your memory. Buying someone else's watch, someone you never knew, carrying a history that was never yours, that's not my cup of tea. I want the watch to write its history with me from the scratch. Now, would I be happy to have my grandfather's watch? Absolutely, but I don't, and it's a pity. But if I did, it would be part of the legacy. It would be the history of someone I loved. But this is a different thing. Paying money to own a stranger's watch, I wouldn't do. And that's my very personal, very subjective opinion. Thank you for watching.